Hi, welcome back to another video. My name is Becky and this is Let's Talk About Mental Health Awareness. Today I'm going to be doing something slightly different yet again. I'm still finding my feet on the channel and seeing what content I enjoy making most, so I really appreciate any support that is given while I'm still kind of finding what I enjoy the most, but this channel will still be focused on mental health mainly. I'm just kind of branching out and seeing what I enjoy. But as I say, today is going to be about the app and the tech service Ask Bongo, or Miss Bongo as it's known, I believe, in the States. So we're going to have a look at this, see if it's a scam, see what it is, see if it's legit, because a lot of YouTubers at one point were advertising Ask Bongo. There was Stephen Tries, WillNE, I believe people, maybe not Cam Kirkham, but that kind of commentary channel audience. We should point out
this sketch was sponsored
that
by
was kind of being pushed on them a lot,
by
I believe.
Bongo.
Like I was watching the commentary channels and at one point Ask Bongo was everywhere.
Well, no.
Everyone was pulling it into their videos, everyone had a brand deal. And the big appeal about Ask Bongo is basically it's a text service that you send a text to when you ask a question.
So Stephen, what is Bongo?
So you give it your name, your town, and then you ask a question and you see what it knows about you.
Text messaging service.
So this appeals to a lot of people, and I can see why. Like, it's interesting to think, what does this thing know about me?
And they reply instantly.
And I've heard that the replies that Ask Bongo gives are usually very accurate. Although it does say in their privacy terms and their policies and all that, that actually the information they provide does not have to be completely false.
No, wrong message.
But people have been saying that it's been relatively accurate.
So if you'd like to do the same, what you do is text your full name and
town to 66668, and you might find something out about yourself. Careful though, because they do charge.
Bongo knows this week on the internet.
I found out my boyfriend was cheating on me, or like, do you know what I mean, that kind of shit.
Even the
it's all about
sponsors are taking
drama,
the piss.
it's all about kind of he said, she said. But it is an interesting app, because how does it know the information that it knows? So basically, we're just going to have a look at it. We're going to have a look at various aspects of the app and the tech service, and just look at it basically, and see the different aspects that are about this. So part one to this video, let's have a look at Ask Bongo's Twitter. Instagram. God, you can tell I don't use either, really, can't you? So on their Instagram right now, they've got 471 posts, 133,000 followers, and 22 following, so they're not following many people. I wonder if it'll let me see who... no, I've got to sign in. Okay, so basically let's just see what they've got. And I noticed that all these images have a question. So it's like, who else checks their bill haul after a scary movie? Which is king, AirPods or Beats? Like, to me, this is data mining. So they are trying to find out what people like and don't like. And they will record these answers for people and then use that in the text that they send back to them. So they might be like, so-and-so is so scared after a scary movie that they will go and check their haul. Or you always have to be that one person in every photo, like on this one here. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's an easy way of finding out what people do and don't do in their lives that you wouldn't know otherwise. Like, how would you know what someone sees, like this bird here, or the rabbit? Like, which animal do you see here? You have no way of knowing what someone is going to see, but once they say to you, oh, I see a duck, you then know something about the way their brain works. So it's all interesting that it's all based on questions. And I guess it's to seem relatable, it's to draw more, interaction, I get that. But every single post that I can see is a question. Why are pirates called pirates? Because they are. So if someone then likes that, they know they like puns. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, all these questions will tell them something about the person that replies or responds on that post. If you like it or you give it a heart, then they know you relate to it. Oh no, leave me alone. Bollocks. Okay, well, let's get off their Instagram. Okay, so clicking off Ask Bongo's Instagram, this is what comes up on Google. So first of all, we have their website. We've got their website again. We have checkmyfile.com, which is actually a very interesting little link, this. And it's talking about basically Ask Bongo, and it tells you a lot of interesting stuff. So it mentions here the questions which breach the Bongo policy, which include things that are, quote, horrible and detrimental to society. So it doesn't seem to be a limit to what you can ask, with its main draw being its ability to answer personal questions about you with an almost eerie level of accuracy. So this is what you're saying, is they know things it shouldn't know about people. It costs £2.50 a pop, so when you text them it's £2.50 when they reply, which is a lot, because you can, as it says here, like, you can Google anything. Why spend £2.50 to text a service about when the next bus is, which is what some people were using it for? and people are complaining that it was getting the buzz times wrong, and they gave the apps like less stars for that reason. But really, you can Google it. Like, the draw of Ask Bongo is that it knows personal things. That's the key here. So how does it know the personal things? That's what worries me. So let's just look at this. So who is behind Bongo? Bongo's Operations Pty Limited is an Australian company that has expanded its operation to include the UK, South Africa and New Zealand. It's been around in the UK for a while, growing to its peak popularity in 2013, but it's since recently resurfaced, having found a new audience thanks to some semi-popular YouTubers and Instagrammers. So they slag off YouTubers and Instagrammers on that bit for a bit, which is just a bit petty. It then says that Ask Bongo has attracted criticism for its marketing in the past, which has included handing out wristbands to students, which encourages them to use the service. The site also makes it clear that you must be over 16 to use it. So if you dig a bit deeper into the website, it says it's the terms and conditions that should really make you think twice. So right here we have what is off their own website, askbongo.com, and this is the UK part. Who is Bongo? Bongo is a cheeky, funny, super intelligent monkey. He was born in the rainforest of Borneo, and after showing early signs of super intelligence, he could say the alphabet backwards in no less than 100 different languages at the tender age of 1 month. Bongo decided to explore beyond the rainforest. He has never looked back. Blah blah blah, he travelled the globe, blah blah blah. He now lives in a beachfront on Bondi. Like, this is just bullshit. They're trying to give him a character so people feel like he's a friend, he's cute, he's funny. It's also advertising kids. It's all aimed at kids. This is the bad thing. But it does say here he has the unbelievable ability to find out personal information about anyone, anywhere. And of course, he can answer literally any question you have. Trivia, weather, train timetables, assignments, anything. So again, why not just Google it for free? There's so many search engines. If you don't like what you get on Google, there's Bing. There's Ask Jeeves. Like, I don't know if that's still going. But do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many. You do not need to spend $2.50 a pop to ask something on Bongo. Anyway, that's just my personal opinion shining through. Sorry. Basically, it's a UK-wide SMS message information service. They're saying it's the fastest way and the latest way to get information delivered to you on a mobile phone. It works on all mobile phone networks in the UK, as well as when you're roaming overseas. Don't mention the extra fees right there, though. They're now saying anyone over 16 and with bill payer's permission can use it. All you have to do is text message a question to 66668, and Bongo will deliver the answer straight to your mobile phone. The best part about it is that the total service, including tax or text, only costs £2.50 on all networks. Only £2.50 for one text. One text. When I was on Pay As You Go, one text was like 10p, and I found that extortionate. Never mind fucking £2.50 just to ask a simple question. Sorry, I'm getting angry again. Calm down. So right here it says the steps that you have to take to be able to text them. And it's all very simple, like really simple, and they've made it like that because, again, they're targeting kids. No adult really would be messaging this. Not more than once or twice for curiosity. So basically, you work out your question, what you want to know, you type it into a text message, you send the text message to their number, you receive a message within a few minutes. The service costs £2.50 a message sent. You must be over 16 and have a bill payer's permission to use. Because it's available on every phone network. Don't stress if you're not with one of the big networks. You can still use Bongo when you want to. So whether you need to know how to get somewhere, what the footy score is, how to dump your boyfriend, or what the meaning of life is, just send a text. Thank God for Bongo. No, I'm pretty sure it's thank Satan for Bongo, but never mind. So this is what I just showed you. This is a bit more. So here we go. How can I use Bongo? All you need to do is text message your question. Anything can be asked, and within a few minutes you'll receive an answer back on your mobile phone. Answers will be concise because Bongo is limited to one text message per answer, which equals 160 characters. So you could ask a question and only get a really short reply, and that's $2.50 gone. Like, you can tell I'm broke, can't you? Because $2.50 to me seems like a lot of money for one stupid text. I'm a broke bitch. I'm going to hold my hands up and be honest. Like, I have no fucking money. But I still think even if you're loaded, like, why would you bother? I just don't. Never mind. So, can anyone use Bongo? You must be 16 years or older and have the account holder's permission. So I saw a lot of forums where parents were talking about their child getting a huge bill racked up because of Bongo, and then they would have to foot the bill because their child had signed a declaration saying that they were 16 years or old, or older, and had the account holder's permission. So a lot of people got screwed out of a heck of a lot of money. Bongo only got fined $70,000 for this, or £70,000. I will go into that in a little bit. What questions can you ask? You can ask anything, but nothing that is detrimental. Can I ask a question in more than one text message? No, a single text message is 160 characters. So you can write longer messages, but then you would be charged twice at £2.50 per text if it was divided into 2 texts. So if you went over 160 characters by 1 character, that would be an extra £2.50 because it would count as 2 different texts. You can't reply to answers really because they don't recommend it, but you will be billed again. I've asked a question but haven't received an answer. Let's see what this says. If for any reason Bongo has received your question but you haven't received a reply within an hour, it's possible that your text message has been delayed or lost in a mobile phone network. Try sending it again or email us. So this makes me think they just going to ignore some people if they don't have an answer, for example, so they will then text again. They then get charged again, as they've just said. It's just a really clever way of making more and more money from people. You answer a question that might intrigue them. So it could be, does anyone fancy me? And you could they could reply with something like, I don't know, so-and-so is interested in this person. And then it propels you into wanting more information. So they're only going to give you a snippet of info per answer that they give you back. So you're going to want to text again to ask another question, and then they're going to reply, and you're going to be like, oh, I wonder what that means. I better ask that question. So it's dodgy. It's dodgy. It does say here that Bongo works thanks to a number of intelligent human researchers and very sophisticated software application with a huge database. Basically, data mining. They get everyone's information and they store it, and this is in the terms and conditions, which I will show you. They store everything on you. So if we just zoom in onto this is the terms and conditions. You can see how much there is to go through. Don't worry, I'm not going to make us go through all of it, but there is some interesting parts, so I just wanted to show you some of them. Here we go. I found this little bit interesting. As a result of the aforesaid, any arising contractual obligations are carried out within a very short time frame and are deemed to be fulfilled upon delivery of the content of Bongo from us to you, which is why a continuing obligation does not exist. So they're saying they have no continuing obligation to you as soon as they've replied to your message. But they then say they can also change the terms and conditions and their privacy policy at any time because of that without noticing you. So they could completely switch up their terms and conditions, and they don't have to tell you, but you are already signed up to agree to them. Now this is really important actually, is this: the contractual obligations are carried out within a very short time frame and are deemed to be fulfilled upon delivery. Because they actually say later in these terms and conditions that you have an obligation to them that continues. And yet here they're saying that their obligation to you ends the moment they text you back. So that's just a bit sus to me. I don't really know. It's dodgy. It's dodgy. So they're saying here, in supplying the service, we assume that you will only use the service for entertainment purposes and that you will not rely on the service to make decisions or act in a way that could affect your own or someone else's life, wealth, or general well-being. So they're saying don't use our information to fuck up your own life, fuck up someone else's life, and then blame us, basically. So that just gets rid of any obligation or responsibility that they have for giving you false information that upsets you, which they do mention later on. And I'll come to that actually. Here it says, frequently our answer is neither correct nor accurate, and may in fact be entirely wrong and without any intention on our part, possibly even offensive to you. Now, they do also say our answer may indeed be correct and or accurate. Frequently, our answer is neither correct nor accurate. So they don't even have to give you any correct information when they reply. They could make something completely random up, reply, and their contractual obligation in their eyes is complete. They've got nothing else that they have to do. Now here we go. So that we can all enjoy the service, we need you to abide by some rules. So it is standard. Don't use it for any unlawful activity. Don't use it to defame or harm any other person or organisation. Don't misrepresent your identity or your contact details. Basically, don't lie to them. Don't try and get information about other people. So don't say that you're someone else to try and see what Bongo knows about them. They're then saying that you are also, when you agree to this, you are agreeing that you are fully authorised to pay for this. And by sending a question or any other kind of statement to the service, you agree that they will charge you or the respective mobile telephone contract owner a fee that is applicable in your country. So once you send a text to them, you are agreeing that you are 16 of age and you have the bill payer's permission, which it says here. which is absolute rubbish because any kid can press a little box that says that. And here it says, you confirm that you are aware that any unauthorised use of the original mobile network or the contract owner's contract automatically enters the original network telephone contract owner into a legally binding contract with us. So even if you lie about who you are, that person that owns the contract is still technically in a legal contract with Ask Bongo, which is fucked up. Anyone can lie about that. Anyone can rack up a huge bill. Anyone can say there's someone else. Anyone can use someone else's phone. It's not that hard. Like, do you know what I mean? There's not that many barriers to it. And for that, to say someone does misuse this system and this service, they could do a lot of damage. They could find out things about people they shouldn't know. They could find out things about relationships they shouldn't know. It's just not good. It's not good. Especially anyone can lie. It's just easy, isn't it? Anyone can say anything. And it's the same thing with Bongo, but at least they admit it. At least they do admit that their answer may not always be correct or accurate. And frequently their answer is neither correct or accurate. You know? Like right here, it's just a bit daft. So they can lie to you, but you can't lie to them, basically. And here we go, your further responsibilities. So, you are saying that you will have a mobile subscription with wireless service or have access to a mobile network in order to be able to download content and or to receive SMS messages and pay any service fees associated with any such access. So you're saying to Ask Bongo that once you use their service, you are going to keep an active network. So you must have a contract phone, you must have access to the internet, or you must be on pay-as-you-go with an access to the internet, basically. That's a big responsibility. If you're a kid, how are you meant to be paying for, like, Wi-Fi, a phone service? Like, that's your parents paying for that, usually, unless you've got a job and you're paying a bit towards it. This is all aimed at kids. That's what you've got to remember. This isn't for people that are working a normal 9-to-5 job that have money to splash a little bit. Not even money to splash, but you know what I mean, like bits to treat themselves. This is kids. They're spending either their pocket money, their parents' money, or their siblings' money. Like, it's as simple as that. Where else would they get their money from unless there's some little roadman ute selling drugs on the corner street? Like, do you know what I mean? But it's worrying. Like, they're also saying that you must use GPRS. So that's basically like tracking technology. In such cases, your mobile phone must be capable of receiving content such as, but not limited to, text messages, ringtones, mobile games, video, and or colour graphics. So you're saying that you will always keep a mobile phone that is capable of receiving all of those things. So you can't then go back to a Nokia phone, like one of them little old crappy ones that lasted forever. You must always have a phone that will do text messages, ringtones, mobile games, video, and or colour graphics. We will not give refunds if you request or attempt to request our service to incompatible phones or wireless service providers, or if your mobile phone is not internet enabled. Mobile phone is not internet enabled. For instructions, please check your wireless service, blah, blah, blah. So all they're saying in your further responsibilities is that you must keep an active online network connection, you must keep your GPS on, you must always have access to text, ringtones, games, videos, and or graphics that they will send you. They will not give you refunds if you attempt to use the service with something that won't work with the service, so an incompatible phone or wireless service, or if your phone doesn't have internet access. You must provide all equipment and software necessary to connect to the service. You are responsible for ensuring that the equipment and or software does not disturb or interfere with our operations. We have the right to immediately stop providing the service to you in case we discover any interference between your use of the service and our operations. So I guess that's covering them if people are hacking into the systems or abusing the system. They've got a bit of cover there. I get that. That's decent. Like, I can understand it. But it does worry me that they're saying that you must provide all equipment and software necessary to connect to the service. You can never go back to not having a phone. You can never go back to not having Wi-Fi. You must always have the access so Bongo can message you. Like, what the fuck? You're a text service that apparently the contract ends in one text. Why do you want me to always have an internet connection for the rest of my life? That is what it's saying. You must have an internet connection for the rest. Like, that is insane. Payments, this is basically pretty simple. You agree to pay the fees for any service requested by you, any other person who is authorised by you, or by any other person who is not authorised by you to use your payment device, except if said person used your payment device without your culpability. So if you didn't unlock your phone, basically, say someone says, can I borrow your phone? And you unlock it and you pass it to them and they use Bongo and they run up a huge bill on your phone. Culpability means that you have a part in it. So because you unlocked your phone and handed it to them, you are culpable. It means responsible, that you have a part in it. If that person stole your phone and got into your phone and then did it, you would be fine. You have no culpability. You are not responsible. But if you did even anything, if you handed your phone to someone, they would class that as culpability and you wouldn't get a refund. That could be £200-300 gone. And that is the fees that some people are getting, if not even higher. It's insane. Privacy and your personal information. Your privacy is very important to us. If you specifically and knowingly provide any kind of personal information to us, you consent to the collection, use, disclosure and transfer of said information subject to our privacy policy. So basically, whatever you tell them, they can then tell everyone else or store it anywhere else that they want to. That information is no longer private, that is their information that they now own. They now say that they own or have obtained a license from a third party to exploit all kinds of intellectual property rights in regard to the operation of the service, included to, but not limited to, copyright and or neighbouring rights subject to our logos and trademarks, our website, any marketing and advertising material, yada yada yada. Now this is interesting, this little bit. They're obviously trying to avoid people writing any reviews on them that are negative. When you submit a question or any other kind of statement to us and we provide a response to you, you alone have our permission to display or otherwise transmit it to a reasonable number of your friends, family and acquaintances. However, you may not supply that answer as part of any commercial enterprise or relationship or include it within a commercial publication without prior written consent from us. That's interesting. So essentially a news article couldn't text Bongo and then put what Bongo had said into their article because they would class that as commercial publication without prior written consent. So they're trying to stop people writing about the service negatively, basically. So this is something interesting right here. By submitting a question or any other kind of statement to us, you grant us a perpetual royalty-free license. The license includes, but is not limited to, the following rights. So essentially, when you submit a question or any other kind of information to them, they gain the royalty to that information, essentially. They are saying that they have the right to reduce copies of the content, whether on a temporary or on a lasting basis, doesn't matter which, regardless of the quantity or procedure they are made, the right to offer original or copies of the work, the right to make the content available to the public, so you could send anything to Bongo and they could go public with it, either by wire or wireless means, in such a manner that members of the public may access it from a place and a time individually chosen by them. Right of making works available to the public. They also have the right to make the content available that you have given them to the public by broadcasting, such as radio and television transmissions, satellite transmission, cable transmission, or by similar technical means. Basically, they can broadcast it online, they can do it on a news channel, they can do it on TV, they can do it on cable. They have the right to make speeches or performances of content perceivable to the public by means of either video or audio recordings. So they can film a video where they use your information in a speech or a performance. They also have the right to adopt, transform or modify in any other form whatsoever the content. So the right to adapt, transform or modify in any other form whatsoever. That means they can just lie. They can take any information, they can adapt it, they can transform it or modify it. And that all means change it. Like, they can change the information. It's as simple as that. This is dodgy as fuck. Essentially, let's just look at this as from what we know so far. You text them, it's £2.50 per text. Number 2, it's a rip-off. Number 3, they advertise to kids. Number 4, they target kids and it's made for kids. And they seem to know this by the way that they phrase their disclaimers about children being held still there, well, the contract owner of the phone being held responsible no matter what, of the age or if that person had permission or not, as long as they were not culpable in it. If you got your phone nicked, you're fine. Anything else, you ain't getting a refund, pretty much. That's what they're saying. And they also can then take that information that they can then send you a lie. They can take the information that you would give them and then lie about that. They can transmit it online. They can transmit it through TV. They can publish it anywhere they want. You're not allowed to tell people what they've said back to you, as long as it's your friends, a reasonable amount of friends, as they said. It's just so dodgy. It's so dodgy. For the avoidance of doubt, Bongo is not a professional counselling service. That's funny. I guess they've had a lot of people being like, what should I do with my life? Please, whatever you're doing, don't do what Ask Bongo tells you to do. Simple as. You cannot rely on any information or advice given. You understand and agree that you request and or use the service, the content, software and website at your own discretion and risk, and that you will be solely responsible for any damages to your computer system, mobile phone or loss of data that result from using the service. Now, they're saying that at night time, your reply may not be sent within those hours. It may take a little longer. So I'm guessing that's not working hours, basically, isn't it? They have people working through the day to do the answers, to go through all the data and write a text. And it does say this. It says it's partly human specialists and it's partly an AI that creates these messages and all this information. So the last thing of these terms and conditions is the right of withdrawal, which is EU only. Users, also referred to as end users, customers or consumers, may have a 14-day right of withdrawal in regard to distance contracts that's been integrated, blah, blah, blah. So basically you have 14 days to withdraw any contract that you have made with Bongo. However, you don't, basically. Delivery of goods produced to the end user specifications to the customer specifications, or which have been given a distinctly personal character, are exempt from the provisions related to a 14-day right of withdrawal. The service Bongo has a distinctly personal character and is constructed to fit your specifications. Therefore, the fees that apply when submitting an SMS to us are not refundable. You do not have a 14-day right of withdrawal in regard to the premium SMS mobile entertainment service Bongo. So basically, you have no right, once you have texted them, to then change your mind and be like, I want to cancel this contract, I don't want you keeping my information, I don't want you using my information, I don't want you to know anything about me. You have no right to that. As soon as you have sent them a text, your rights are out the fucking window in their mind. Really, they are. By reading this, you've got no rights. Like, you fucked. Look at all this. Look at how much shit they wrote. Basically to say, we'll do nothing wrong, because we cover our arse, technically, by a load of TNCs. It's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. So just continuing down the personal rights part, it says your right to object. You can ask us to stop processing your personal information and we will do so if they're relying on their own or someone else's interest to process your data, except if they can demonstrate compelling legal grounds for doing it, or for processing your personal information for direct marketing purposes. So they're admitting right here that they are going to take the information you give them, and no matter what, they can do direct marketing with you, because there is no way for you to get rid of that clause that you ever accessed, and that you have apparently legally contracted with them, between you and them, for a text. From a text, like all this is from one text. You send them one text and they have all the rights to your data. They have rights to store that data on you for however long they want, to use it however they want, to broadcast it however they want, to send it to whoever and wherever they want, to store it wherever they want and however they want. Like, they can follow you on social media, they know your home address, they know your bank details, they want a copy of your passport, like a picture of your passport. Like, why? If this is just some fun app, why do you need all this information? It's bullshit. There's something going on. And I want to know what the deeper cause for all this information sharing and, like, storing is. If anyone has any ideas, let me know. Like, I'm getting a bit, like, Anunnaki elite Illuminati vibes. Like, like, trying to find out everything they can on the younger part of the generation. Like, the younger generation, the millennials. Like, I don't know. It's fucked up. And I'm literally right now wearing my David Icke t-shirt that says, beware the lizard people. So, hey, I guess I'm dressed appropriately. Anyway, I'm going to give up here because there's so much to this shit and it just goes on and it's bizarre. Like, this thing scares me. I don't know why they want all this data, but it's not for a good reason. It's not just to amuse people and make them happy or, like, interested in the replies they get. No. It's all about money and it's all about data. And that is not good. This is a company that I will never ever support. Like, I could say I blew up, which is not going to happen on YouTube, but say I blew up on YouTube and they tried to make me do a brand deal. Like, you could pay me £1 million and Bongo, I wouldn't fucking bother. Like, you are shit. You scam kids. You don't let parents get the money back. They have to go through whoever they paid through, usually, which is their bank or PayPal, to try and get a refund, because you make it fucking difficult to do that. You don't give your users any rights. You don't give them any kind of benefit. There's no benefit to someone messaging your service, and then you get all the benefit. You get £2.50 a text and all their information. It's messed up. So anyway, Bongo's fucked up. I think it's a scam. Maybe not a scam, but it's dodgy. It's certainly dodgy. I think it's sus as fuck. Thank you if you watched this far. I don't know what my next video is going to be on. I'm trying to do another maybe a horror movie video because I find them quite fun. But I just don't know. We'll see. I'm doing different things, and I want to thank everyone who supports this channel. You kind of really, you keep me going. You really do. Like, the support I get really, really does help. So yeah, thank you. I really appreciate if you've watched this far. Stay cool. Stay safe. Bye, guys.
So I got them to send me mine. So if you'd like to do the same, what you do is text your full name and town to 66668 and you might find something out about yourself. Careful though, because they do charge. Bongo knows this week on the internet. I bloody hope they do. Cracking squarehead commentator WillNE. Even the sponsors are taking the piss.